Hi everybody, so today we're going to make a tissue paper flower, and here I've just got one sheet of tissue paper and I folded it 4 times just to make a square, and I'm just going to cut around it and just cut a really rough circle as big as I can around it, so there's 16 little circles. And then I'm also going to take about half of this stack and then cuts around those again to make a set of smaller circles. So here I'm just showing you just really rough cutting around. So I actually only had 6 smaller circles, but it doesn't matter. Here I'm just stamping them with this Heart Flourish stamp from Hero Arts, and I've gone and done all of them using the Versamark ink. I just threw on the stamps. There was, you'd have to be particularly careful about it. And here I've just literally dumped them all into my embossing powder, and I'm just going to take them out one by one and flick off all the excess, which is just the quickest way of doing it. And now here I'm going to heat emboss them, and it's actually really difficult to heat emboss tissue paper because it's got like a waxy surface that almost resists the heat, the embossing powder, but it does work and it looks great when you're done. So I'm just screwing them all up into a ball here. I had great fun doing this. It's nice to be able to treat your work like that occasionally, and then just gently undoing them so they don't rip, and then stacking them into piles. And then I put the pile of the little circles on top of the big circles, and this makes the basically makes the flower. And then you just use your cursor puck. Then you just use your crocodile here to punch out a little circle in the middle, so you can put your brad through the middle, and this just secures all the petals of the flower together. And then you just kind of scrunch it all up to make it look like a carnation, and I think it really looks quite effective, and I had great fun doing it, so give it a go, it's good fun. Next we go on to the card, and here I'm just using these Nestabilities. They're called Labels 1. And instead of using them as a die cut, I used them as a template because I wanted the absolute biggest template that I could for the pattern paper on my base card. And I just cut around this, and I'm just cutting around the bottom part of it, and then having the rest of it just as a square. So here I'm just stacking up my card how I want it to look, and I'm using my collusal circle cutter here, just laying on the flower where I vaguely want it to be, and then putting this rub-on die where I want it to be, because I'm going to cut out a circle from the right hand side of this pattern paper, and I'm just choosing the size of the circle, where I want the circle to be, holding it all in place, and then using the collusal blade to cut around it once I'm happy with the positioning. So I'm just snipping this circle out here. Then I'm going to cut around another circle slightly larger, and then slightly smaller as well on the inside, and this is going to give me like a shadow and a backdrop for the circle I've just cut out. You'll see what I mean in just a second. So that's how I want it to look on my card, and I just need to trim off that excess circle on the side there. So I'm just holding it down where I want it, making some pencil markings, and then just using my paper trimmer to chop that edge off, and it should be bang on perfect for when I attach it to that pattern piece of paper that I started with originally. And I'm going to do that by using 3-dimensionals because I ultimately want this pattern piece of paper to be lifted off the base card. So here I'm just lining it up where I want it on my base card, and oops, I slipped a little there. I'm just going to draw around really lightly with a pencil so I know where I have to stop with my rub-on. And here I tried to use this rub-on, but unfortunately it just wouldn't rub on, didn't do what it said, and it basically wrecked the base card because I just had to try so hard to emboss it. I essentially embossed it, and it just wrecked it. So here I've just made a new card. I've used craft cardstock, and I actually preferred it, so that worked out really well. And I'm just putting on this now with three-dimensional stickers. Instead of my rub-off, now I'm using these chipboard letters from Basic Grey. They're really small ones, and I'm just going to write in the big day just in that little circle there. And here again I'm punching off the corners. I had already done this on the white card, and it would have been a lot easier if I'd have done it before I'd added that pattern piece of paper, but that makes no difference. So here I'm just knotting a ribbon just once. It's a different way. Instead of having the knot in the ribbon with the little ties that you chop off on the end, this is just a different way of showing a knot on a ribbon. And it's quite good for the thicker ribbons too. So I've just cut it to length, and now I'm adding a little bit of a sticky onto the one end, and I'm just going to push it under the first layer of the card, and then I've added another little bit of sticky to that end, and I'm just going to stick it onto the other side here as well. This again would have been easier if I'd have done it before I'd stuck the front of the card down, but never mind. Now I'm just going to attach lots of little glue dots to this carnation flower, tissue paper flower that I made earlier, and then stick it to the top left of the card. I really enjoyed making this card. I think it's made a very different wedding card, and I really liked it, and I would definitely make the tissue paper flower again because it was a whole lot of fun. So yeah, give it a go.